you buy that hat in Colorado?
No, I've had this.
It's an old one, right?
Yeah, old one, yeah. That'd be crazy if I just bought this.
It's like, my gosh, you really wore it.
This sweat stain.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some USMNT. I don't know, recap, catch up.
Usmnt.
Usmnt.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, so obviously at the point of recording, USA are 30 minutes away from their final qualification game. They play Costa Rica. They qualify if they don't lose 5-0, which I'm a little nervous for, but I'm confident.
They're putting a good squad.
That's like crazy that we're even saying we're nervous.
Right. I'm nervous just because of past performances of losing to El Salvador or whatnot.
And just like whenever there's like the slightest chance.
That is true.
Like, but it's like so slight that it's like it could happen.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
And I'm putting it behind. I'm saying I'm confident in this US team.
I'm
is what
confident.
I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
We got it.
Trinidad and Tobago 2.0.
Yeah.
gosh.
Please no. Yeah, don't even mention that. Let's qualify today. Let's get it done.
We will.
Yeah, so I'll just read through the lineup that they're going to start with against Costa Rica, and then we're going to just kind of give a little bit of a overview of if we agree with this lineup. You know, say everyone on the U.S. team is fit. First game of the World Cup. Who are the U.S. fielding? So for tonight's game, they got Zach Steffen in goal. And then the back line is Miles Robinson, Walker Zimmerman, Anthony Robinson, DeAndre Yedlin. Then midfield, we have classic three. We got Tyler Adams. How do I even say this guy's first name?
Yunus Musa?
No. I've never read his first name.
Kellen?
That's how you spell it?
Kellen Acosta.
Okay, yeah, but I didn't know how else to spell it. Yeah, no, that is... Okay, we got Kellen Acosta, Yunus Musa, and then the top line, Ricardo Pepi, Pulisic, and Timothy Weah.
Strong lineup.
Strong lineup. So obviously a couple key players are hurt. Weston McKennie is hurt. Serginho Dest. We have Josh Sargent. I wouldn't say he's a key player, honestly.
No.
But,
Yeah.
Gio Reyna's on the bench.
On the bench, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so. Okay, I have... So start off in goal. I can't think of the guy's name again.
Matt Turner.
Matt Turner is better than Zach Steffen.
Yes, I agree.
He's better. Also, Ethan Horvath.
Who is that? I don't know.
He's better. He played for us in like in one of the tournaments, but he's better than Zach Steffen too.
I think the thing is Zach Steffen plays for Man City. He plays in Europe. He plays in the Premier League. But he never plays.
But he
never plays, and he's a young goalkeeper. And to be a good goalkeeper, you got to have experience. You don't want like a young kid that can make crazy saves. You want a consistent keeper.
Matt Turner, I think Matt Turner should be the U.S.'s consistent starter. I'm assuming he's hurt if he's not there.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll be there.
I'm assuming he's hurt, but I think Matt Turner is better, and I think Matt Turner should start in the World Cup. And I think he should start every game.
Yeah,
I don't think
we've
there's.
talked about it before.
I don't think there's Zach Steffen
He's
is
out
good.
for a couple more weeks.
Zach Steffen is good, but we're playing the World Cup. Matt Turner should play every single game, unless we're points clear and we have a game to spare.
Clear.
What's happening?
in the group stage.
All right.
Then Zach Steffen's gonna play, but so I think Matt Turner, and then in the back. Miles Robinson and Walker Zimmerman have been playing, pretty much the vast majority of the qualifiers. The other outlier would be John Brooks.
Yeah, who's been kind of
exiled. I think it should be Miles Robinson and Zimmerman.
I feel like he hasn't been on the team. He hasn't been like...
That is a harsh word.
Yeah, he's been exiled from the team. No, I love Zimmerman. I think Zimmerman's great.
He was thrown out behind the city walls.
No, but I think John Brooks is good. Chris Richards is another one, but not ready to start.
No, not ready to start. And I think, Miles Robinson has been, he's not like Walker Zimmerman is great. And he's kind of a nailed on starter. The contentious one would be Miles Robinson, but I do think his performances, and more importantly, his consistency within the qualifiers means that he should be kind of a nailed on starter.
Right.
The thing is, yes, it is good to have John Brooks as a backup or Chris Richards, if one of them gets hurt. But I think if they're both fit, they should be in there.
Yeah. they've played together for a while now too, so they have that.
Yeah, honestly, same
chemistry.
with Anthony or Jedi Robinson. I love that.
Anthony Robinson is one of the more awkward players out there, but he
Dude, he
is
gets
like
the job
consistent.
done.
Yeah,
I'm kind of nervous
like,
watching him play.
Oh yeah, every time it's like I don't know, he's like he seems out of control, and he's just like, but he somehow gets the cross in, and it like reaches a player.
Yeah.
That cross to Pulisic with that crazy goal. Pulisic.
That was wonderful.
touch.
But that was just like the right cross. It was like soft enough that Pulisic can like wrangle it in, you know. And he's just like he's consistent, and that's what we need.
That's what I agree. I keep seeing, I think just over the past 3 games is really his only assists for the men's team or something like that. But I keep kind of not noticing him, and then I see him again getting an assist. And I'm like, wow, he's an impactful player. And he was kind of cast away from the U.S. team for a little bit after his debut, so it is good to see him coming back and to see Berhalter putting some trust in him, and he's really done a good job. So I think that's exciting to see. And so I think, similar to kind of Miles Robinson, Anthony Robinson being in this team and playing consistently nails on a spot. The right back obviously is a little bit more of a toss-up. You have DeAndre Yedlin, Serginho Dest, who is currently hurt.
Joe Scally.
Or there's some other guy more, maybe someone.
Yeah, I think it's a tactical decision.
I think it is tactical. I do think if he's fit, it should be Serginho Dest. He does not have the defensive abilities of DeAndre Yedlin, but it's not like DeAndre Yedlin is a perfect defender. I think
the reason I like Joe Scally is because I only watched one game, and it was against Bayern when he
Gladbach.
Yeah, Gladbach, and he locked down like players on the left side. He locked down Sané, and I was like, this guy can actually lock down big time players.
He's American.
He can do this.
Unbelievable.
And the rest of our options are Yedlin and Dest are not defensive. And when we play in the World Cup, we're gonna come against good teams, not
Panama,
meh teams, and that means we're probably gonna sit back most of the game, which is not how we've been playing, and we're not gonna want two outside backs that are very attacking. And I feel like Anthony Robinson is kind of decent at defending. He's not terrible, but he does go up and
he's more defensive than Dest though. But think back to, do you guys remember that game? I think it was last year with Barcelona versus PSG with Serginho Dest defending Mbappe,
like the worst player,
and getting like absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah, and they took him off at half.
Because it was literally like being embarrassed. Like you could see him like looking away. He wasn't looking. He was staring at the ground because it was that bad. And it's not to say he's a bad player, but defensively it was not his strong suit.
Right. Yeah.
Tom. So I've never watched Scally play.
It's an option, but he hasn't played at all.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
He hasn't played at all.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even made a date or had a debut.
What was the guy that they brought in against? Let me look at his name.
I think it was more. He played last game against Panama. Well, the guy who started,
They brought in, is it Christian Martinez?
Shaq Moore started the game, and he played the whole game against Panama. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know much about him. It wasn't like Panama was really a test of skill,
right?
But I don't know. I think it'll be Dest if he's fit. Because also, also he might be slightly compromised defensively, but he is a great attacker.
He gives you so much more than Yedlin.
He gives you so much more. Yeah. And I've been, even just in these qualifiers, kind of watching them play. I'm like, okay, if only Dest was here, he could go in and take an actually decent shot.
Yeah.
He probably has the best shot on the team.
He played winger for Barcelona.
He has some screamers.
No, he probably is the best striker of the ball on the team. So I think for that reason alone, you probably have to have him on the field.
Mm-hmm. The midfield is a little contentious now.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into it.
I don't think it is.
Really?
I think it's a little contentious. Adams is going to be the.
I think it's Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie every game. I think Yunus Musa is so good. I watch him play, and I'm so impressed every game.
I agree with that. Musa's good, but I think he's the worst out of those three players.
Yes.
And I think that's the point of contention because Reyna can play in the midfield and open up a space for Timothy Weah.
Because Reyna plays Cam then.
And because Reyna's kind of
plays
similar.
deeper?
McKennie plays deeper with Adams.
That it does like cause a little bit of like McKennie being a little out of position. And
he can do that though.
He can do that.
Adams will play more defensively than McKennie.
Right. I think the question is Weah better than Musa? You don't think Weah is
No. I see how you're phrasing it. No, I think Musa is better.
You think Musa's better than Weah? You'd rather
I would rather have him on the field
than
Weah.
Right.
And I would play okay, well so my midfield would be Tyler Adams as like a stronger CEM, and then I would prefer honestly kind of a deeper midfield without a cam, without like a proper cam, without Gio Reyna playing cam. Because I do think McKennie's distribution and then Musa's like dribbling ability or like ball progression. I think obviously it's not like he's Gio Reyna. He's not making this 60-yard run dribbling past the whole Panama team.
Yeah.
But he's more defensive. He's more kind of a well-rounded player. I think the bigger point of contention might be Weah or Gio Reyna rather than Weah or Musa. And I don't know. That's a very tough one, I think.
I like the point about, Gio Reyna's probably not going to be able to do those types of runs during the World Cup. And Musa might be a more tactical selection just because we might not have the ball as much as we do right now, especially against a lot of the teams that we're going to be playing. So maybe you'll just have Reyna come on as that super sub and try to spark some energy into teams.
I'll go like my top three are Weah, Pulisic, and Pfok.
Right.
The guy who like totally flubbed that
shot.
But I'm picking him over
Pepe
or Ferreira.
Or Zardes?
You scared me. Well, actually, no, Zardes wouldn't be a bad pick, actually.
I agree.
Zardes wouldn't be a bad pick because that guy has an incredible work rate.
Yeah, I do. I just give Zardes a lot of...
No, I know. But I want Jordan Pfok, right? I think he should start...
Young boys.
Because we likely won't have the ball, and we need an aerial presence. We need someone who can like win a header.
Honestly, Zardes would be good.
Zardes would be good at that. That's I was thinking about that.
Or something, yeah.
But Pepe and Ferreira aren't going to give you that, or Gio Reyna up top is not going to give you that, or Pulisic up top is not going to give you that. And if we don't have the ball for most of the game, we need to have like a player just to be able to ping a ball into and just try to make something happen.
Yeah.
And for the U.S. lineup, he's that player. So I think it is more of a tactical decision. But I think just like, standard issue, best lineup, I think his ability to win stuff in the air and just kind of give a little bit of a different dimension to the attack is worthwhile.
Yes. I'm not on the Pepe train. I thought he did well scoring some goals and winning us some games, but I haven't been that impressed since. And he's 18 years old, and we need a player.
Yeah, he's time.
And we need some players that are a little older. Like Pfok's 25. Like we need like some age in this team that's like just a bunch of 21 and 22 year olds, and like younger. And I feel like when I watch Zardes play, I haven't watched Pfok that often. He acts like a striker, and he has a crazy work rate, and he's constantly making runs in order to just like disorganize the other team's defense. I feel like that is more valuable than Pepe's. Pepe might be a better goal scorer. It might have been kind of a fluke. We don't really know. What I do know is we need a striker that's going to work hard to disorganize the defense. And I feel like that's either Pfok or Zardes. Or can Weah play up top?
I think I've seen Weah play up top more than I've seen him play.
The thing is, he's great. He's like honestly, he's a great super sub because he's not a goal scorer consistently. Right. He's just goes and makes something happen.
Make runs down the sideline and cross the ball.
Two players we're not talking about. Obviously, like Matthew Hoppe might be an option.
Right.
for that sub. I don't think Josh Sargent these days is going to get into the lineup. Brendan Aronson, we haven't spoken about. I could see Berhalter putting Weah or Gio Reyna on the right, Pulisic up top, and Brendan Aronson on the left, which I don't think is the right selection. All the best players on the field does not mean it's the best lineup.
I don't even think Aronson's that good.
I think Aronson's great, actually.
Really?
I think he's
good at getting fouled, and
we already have Pulisic.
Yeah,
I think he's good, but I don't think for this lineup, I don't think he fits.
Yes, I agree.
Because well, at least this formation or whatever, he's a good cam maybe or left wing, but we have Pulisic, and at least how I'm reading it out right now, I don't really want a cam. I would prefer kind of a midfield 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's a good player. I think he can bring something off the bench, and maybe he'll probably get some starts. I mean, he is one of the U.S.'s better players.
Yeah.
But in a starting 3, when you have Pulisic, you have Weah, and you have other striker options, I don't think you're gonna move Pulisic to striker. I don't think you should move Pulisic to striker just to get Aronson on the field.
Yes.
Maybe 70th minute you want something to happen. If he's not already on the field, yes, put him on the field.
Yeah, because then you have Pulisic at striker and Aronson. Then you have 2 players out of position instead of just one.
So it's worthwhile, doing then just to try to make something happen if it's not working. But from the bat, I think you need a little bit more trust in your game plan or in your formation than just trust in kind of star players.
Well, we were talking about game plan. Like, the way we've been talking about it is that we're assuming the U.S. is going to play completely different than they've been playing, in the World Cup versus the games that they've been playing in CONCACAF.
Yes, but also we're going to be in pot 2. If we win,
we're gonna Thomas, do not jinx it. We're going to look like a clown on Friday when we don't qualify.
What did I say? We're going to be in pot 2. We're going to be...
We're doing this whole episode on the thought that we're qualified.
Yeah, it's hilarious. We're gonna have to scrap this whole thing.
Okay, go ahead. Yes,
we're gonna play 2 teams that are supposedly worse than us. There's a possibility that we could come up against teams in that 3rd pot that are pretty even with us, or 4th pot that are even with us. But I think we're gonna struggle against one team. And then we're gonna play our game, probably 2 of the games, and that's how we're gonna get to the quarterfinal, and then from there, it's gonna be
Then Ricardo Pepi comes into play. After Zardes and Pifak have sacrificed themselves on the field, their work rate is through the roof. They can no longer run. Yeah. Well, either way, honestly, the thing is, U.S. has a lot of good players. They have a lot of good options. It's just kind of nailing down that consistent team. And it doesn't have to be consistent. Maybe Berhalter does trust his tactical abilities more than I do and make something happen, which I think he probably will. So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It's a problem the U.S. don't usually have. So
I was going to say, this is the first time where we are able to debate about selections.
Where I can make a lineup.
Yeah. Before we'd be like, these are the 11 players we have. Let's just put them on the field.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for this week's episode. So thank you to everyone listening and watching, and whatever else.
Experiencing.
I guess those are the only 2 senses we're putting out.
We're coming up with our 5D podcast soon.
Yeah. See you next week.
USA.
Peace.
Let's go.